Alright, so today we're going over our exam 1. We recently took a very fun exam. Well, I thought it was fun. And I think we should all go over it. Maybe we can all learn something. So I thought we could take it one by one here. This was the first problem on the exam. And somewhere around there was a hint. There was this hint about some possible ways of doing it. And the hint specifically said maybe you could try a u sub where u is equal to tangent of x. If that's the case, well, then the differential of u would be du is equal to secant square of x times dx. And so that would mean that I can multiply both sides by cosine square, and that would give me that cosine square of x times du is equal to dx. So the exchange rate for the dx, this dx, here's the exchange rate, it can be exchanged for that much. So this becomes 1 over 1 plus 3 cosine square x times dx. And the dx, of course, can be exchanged for a cosine square x times du. Right? And then you go on and you say, well, what can you do with that? And you think, well, not much. Well, maybe you could do something. You could say here, this becomes the integral of cosine square of x all over 1 plus 3 cosine square of x dx, just by doing a little algebra here. Maybe we can query the dictionary here. The dictionary says that I'm going to make my dictionary blue so it stands out. This is my dictionary, or sometimes people call it the u substitution. Maybe I can query it and try to figure out what's the exchange rate for cosine. So here, from the dictionary, I would have to add another piece to it and say, you know what, I'm going to extend my dictionary here to include my right triangle. From here I get that if I had a reference triangle x, the ratio of this ratio, opposite would be u, the adjacent one would be 1. That's what this means. Tangent of x equals u. That means the ratio of the opposite to adjacent side is u to 1. That would mean that this one would be u squared plus 1 using the Pythagorean theorem. And from here I could gather that the cosine of x could be exchanged for this ratio adjacent to hypotenuse. So it would be 1 over the square root of u squared plus 1. Now that's adjacent over hypotenuse. Now that means that a cosine square, I'll extend even more on the dictionary, that means a cosine square of x could be exchanged for 1 over u squared plus 1. Right? So then this becomes, let's go back to yellow here, this becomes the integral of cosine square. Cosine square is equal to 1 over u squared plus 1 all over 1 plus 3 times 1 over u squared plus 1 times a dx. Sorry, this was a du. My bad. Just checking to see if you guys are paying attention here. Whoa! What happened? There we go. Brought it back. So this should be du. No biggie here. U du. Alright, now what I've done is something nice. I've changed all my x's to u's. Now what? So here maybe we can clean up a little bit. Maybe do a little bit of algebra. I'll multiply the top and the bottom by something that will kill the denominators, u squared plus 1. Multiply top and bottom by u squared plus 1. That would get me to this step. That would get me a 1 on the top because these two would cancel. On the bottom that would get me a I have to distribute this to that and to that, so that would give me a u squared plus 1, and that would give me a 3 there, and then that would give me just a du there. This would turn into 1 over u squared plus 4 du, which becomes a really easy integral. I could factor out a fourth here, 1/4 integral 1 over, this would be 1/4 u squared plus 1 du. So then I can make w be equal to a half u. dw, of course, would be a half du. And this would be 1/4 integral 1 over, this would be w squared plus 1. And of course the du could be exchanged for 2 dw's. I'm looking here another little mini dictionary. I'll make this dictionary yellow. That gets me to, I'll continue up here. Why? Because I can. And so that gives me a 2 over 4 on the outside, and that gives me the integral of 1 over w squared plus 1 dw, which of course is just a arctangent of w plus a constant, and then you should maybe switch back. This means 2 over 4 arctangent of w, which was agreed upon to be half a u, and then of course you should go back to the u dictionary. U is equal to tangent, so this becomes 2 over 4 arctangent 1/2 u, which was tangent of x plus e yippee-ki-yay. Okay, not bad at all. Actually, all the difficulties were over right around this point right here. When we were tenacious enough to continue querying the dictionary here to make the substitution complete and get rid of all the dx's and all the x's and substitute for u's, and cleaned up incredibly nicely. At this point it was extremely a very routine kind of problem. Alright, that was fun. That was problem number 1 from the exam. Let's take a look at problem number 2. Come back for some more.